So as an adult, you got all of these fears and no's and stops and limits in you. But when you was a kid, you was limitless. You didn't really care.
I think that's a lot. That holds obviously a lot of adults with entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, because that fear sits in. Because you could have a kid, you could tell a kid like, and sometimes you take on the fears of your environment. So even if you have some type of boldness in you, if people around you are like, oh, well, you can't do it, or well, I ain't do it, or well, that imprints on you, and you don't realize that you're internalizing that. So that's what happens to a lot of adults, because people around them also have limits, and they imprint their limits on you. Like, that's your limitation. That ain't your limitation.
That is true.
Blueprint, yeah. This conversation about building up your blueprint.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Respect My Blueprint podcast, where we give you the blueprint on how to do shit. You already know what it is, guys. And today I have a very lovely guest here. All right. And we're going to have a great conversation. Matter of fact, this is not my first time meeting her, though, so that's why I'm able to say this. I got the pass to say that, y'all, so y'all fall back on that. You feel me? But, yeah, we're going to get in a little credit talk. You know what I'm saying? Go talk about some, credit card strategies, some business credit, and just overall personal finance, all right? But I got the best in the game, and we've met at a summit not too long ago, which we're going to touch on and everything, and I messed up on her name the first time, so we're going to give it another crack at it, okay? And we have the none other than the lovely Sheeta 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so a little bit about me. Everybody call me Sheeta 3.
Let things go.
Right.
And once I was able to learn how to let things go.
What's up, y'all? How you guys doing?
Sheeta 3. What's up, man?
What's going on?
I'm good.
How you doing?
I'm feeling blessed, man.
Which, by the way, you here celebrating Mom Duke's birthday.
Yes, my mom's birthday is today, actually. So.
Yes, okay. Well, shouts out to all the mamas out there who is celebrating their birthdays today.
Oh, you
okay?
leaders out here acting
you feel?
crazy.
Well, some of them do feel like they run the world. They getting beside themselves, okay? So, but that's another topic for another day, right? But what's up, girl? How you doing? You all right?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well.
That's what's up. Glad to see you. Well, first of all, if you could share with everybody, we met at the Credit Summit, Durain's event, which was a dope event, by the way, and you dropped some game. We had a panel. Well, I think it was me, you, Herman,
Brandon and Tevin and
Cashflow, right. And, you gave a little bit about, your strategies and everything like that. But before we get into that, I got to meet you then, right? But our audience haven't met you. So if you can go ahead and share a little bit about yourself, like, who the heck is Sheeta 3? You feel me?
All right, so just a little bit about me. I'm a middle school math teacher currently. I've been teaching math for the past 8 years.
Okay.
This is my eighth year, and I teach 7th and 8th grade. So that's actually is the basis of my love for finance and math as well.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I have multiple businesses that are open, that's running while I'm in school and while I'm out of school. So that 9 to 5 business, open, having your own business type of thing, that's something that I can heavily relate on.
And okay.
Lastly, I'm a travel connoisseur, so I love being able to use my credit to help me travel as much as I want to, as often as I like. And
as we can see, you pulling up, right?
And for the least amount of cost as possible. So that's just a little bit about me.
Dope. Which, hold on. I want to start off with the fact of you being a middle school teacher.
Yeah.
So, which, again, you already shared this story, but I find it so fascinating because I also capture a little bit of your content and everything, right? And I like the fact how you use your experience, which I want to get on, your experience, how it taught you about credit cards and personal finance, and you just, move that into your middle school, right? Middle school. So if you could give that story a little bit so the audience could hear, because I feel like that's a good foundation to kind of set for the whole show today.
All right, so pretty much like when it came down to teaching, right? I always was pretty savvy when it came to math. I was always kind of
okay.
It came naturally to me, but when I actually started getting into like the curriculum of middle school, like the math that you learn, and then I had a personal incident with my credit that I didn't know. And like, I can't blame someone for what they don't know, but I can blame you after
After you get the knowledge.
After you get the knowledge,
Got
or
it.
once you find out that you didn't know it, how you go and not.
Or
how
react to it.
Exactly. Your
Okay.
reaction to it. So
Got it.
are you
Okay.
like the person, well, I never knew, and then you never find answers? Or it's like, well, I didn't know, and I need to find answers. For me, it was, I didn't know, and then I needed to find answers. So I had a situation where I went to apply for a mortgage. Everything was good. I'm super Jamaican, so I got like, at this point in time, I got like 2-3 jobs.
Wagwan.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You done know, right? So I had 2-3 jobs at this point in time, and
Right.
they want pay stubs. I got pay stub. I'm getting paid like every single week.
You want statements, whatever the case may be, you lace.
I'm lit. Let's
Okay.
go, right? So I go and do that. They pull my profile. They pull my TransUnion and Equifax credit report because
Right.
for some reason my Experian was closed. I don't know why.
Okay,
It
whatever.
was just locked or whatever. I don't know if it was. I don't know. But either way,
we know they be tripping.
they
so.
didn't have no access to it. So when they pulled those two profiles, I got pre-approved for $750,000
Whoa,
in
okay.
New York.
Oh, well, okay. I can.
But this was 6 years ago.
Ooh. This is like after pandemic.
This is before pandemic.
I mean, not pandemic. The crisis. The
This is
2000.
after the-
Yeah,
this is-
all that whole
this is
stuff.
2017.
Wow. Okay. So prices are pretty high at that point,
It's
right?
high, but it's 750 6 years ago. It's higher now. So I still could have got something decent
I see what
in
you're
New
saying.
York City. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
okay.
it wasn't what it is now. But I
Okay.
could have got something.
Okay.
And I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't even know there was 3 different companies. I thought it was just one score. I didn't know what I didn't know. So
Right.
once that happened, right, and they told me no, like she told me yes, told me the amount, told me what my terms were going to be, but she said I need to see the other report because based off of these and your pay stubs,
You good to go.
I'm good to go. I just need to see this one.
Right.
So I was 2 for 3, brick. 2
Man,
out of
that
3.
one free throw, if you would have hit
brick.
it, you would have been Gucci.
I would have been
but,
Gucci, brick. So I'm hurt at this point, but I'm
Right.
like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, you have a negative item. I had some random collection on there. I didn't even know who the collection agency was.
Right. Damn. So this is just something you overlooked over time, or just some
I
mistake or whatever, and then boom.
I didn't know.
Which is so common
Which
in
is
our game,
so
right?
common,
Mhm.
which is so common. People are like, I didn't even know I had that. I didn't know this. So I really didn't know. And then now it's like, I'm the type of person, like I said, if I don't know something and it stops me from doing it, I'm about to figure out
Let me react to it.
what
and
is going on right now.
What's going
So
on here? Okay.
That started my deep dive into credit to try to figure out what it was that made me lose $750,000. Like I lost $750,000.
Damn.
So now that's like, I'm like, all right, I got to figure this out. I got to figure this out.
You
I got
gotta
to figure
crack
this
this
out.
code pretty
I got to
much.
crack this code. But now when I start looking into credit, guess what happens? You start asking questions to people around you because you know, if at that point I'm young, right? So it's like,
Okay.
I won't say I was young, but I was still I was younger.
Growing again, you're adulting.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
let's put it
yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's like that. And so I'm asking, like, you know, the elders around me. I'm asking my aunts, my uncles, my mom, my dad, and they
But
don't.
mind you, they're, just like my family, sorry to cut you off,
Nah, you good.
they're immigrated from another country, so they don't understand too
They
much.
don't know either. So, and it's not even like they don't know, but what they did know, they told me, she that pay a bill on time and don't have too much card. I said, all right, Dad, too
Right.
much card. There's 2 card, 3 card. That's it. Pay
That's
a bill
it.
on time. So that's all he ever told me, which is what I did. Paid my bill off every single month on time.
Right, okay.
Right, I followed his blueprint, but that's okay because my dad didn't know either. He just knew what he knew. Cause like you said, when you come from another country, in Jamaica, there is no credit system.
Yeah, everything is cash.
If you don't have
can't
the
pay
cash,
for it, that's it.
it's quiet for you. There's no credit system, and if you don't have the cash, they're not lending you nothing either.
Period.
Because they need to have some type of collateral, or you're gonna run
Just
off
to
on the
loan
plug.
you.
Exactly.
There you go.
So he didn't know, and I don't ever blame him. I'll never blame him because he taught me what he did.
Plus, it was a different time era back then where they believed in working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs.
And
They
that's
just
what I
paid-
did too.
Right,
I was working 2
right.
jobs. I worked 2, 3 jobs. I had a weekend and I had a hustle.
Right,
So I
okay.
knew what they told me, and I tell people that all the time. I'm like, oh well, I didn't learn this in school. I didn't learn this at home. I'm like, they taught you what they knew.
The basics and
They
the foundations.
taught you what they knew. If your mom
Right.
knew how to cook and she taught you how to cook, that's what she knew. If grandma knew how to clean, she taught you what
How
she
to
knew.
clean, true.
If she knew about credit for real, they would have taught you that too, but they didn't know. So now it's our responsibility now to take that up because now, okay, we got all the basics. I can make some chicken and curry chicken and stew it up and brown stew and whatever I gotta do. I can do that.
Oxtails.
My oxtails okay. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, we got to spice it up a
it's
little
hit or
bit,
miss
but
sometimes.
Another conversation
That's
another day,
you know
right?
what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, but seriously, like that's how I started looking at it. So when I'm really trying to figure out now, okay, what it is, and I start asking them, they like, oh, I don't know that, And then I start asking my friends and my cousins, and then
Okay.
guess what? hit and miss. I got credit problems. Oh, my credit good. I got credit problems.
So now
my
they want you
good.
to lace them up a little bit, or they kind of like just at this point, like, hold on, there's something here.
Yeah, because now guess what? It was 50 of them had bad credit. 50%. 50%. So half and half. Some people got good credit, some people got bad credit. The ones who got good credit don't even know how they maintaining the good credit. And the ones who got bad credit just know that it's bad.
It just got there some magical reason.
Some have it and it's just bad.
Okay.
So that's what ended up happening. So when I was on my journey to learn how to figure out how to fix my credit.
Right.
Then it became, oh shoot, you got bad credit too? Well, let me see if I fix this off mine. Let me see if I can fix yours. Let me see if I can fix yours. Next time I got 5 clients. I got to like 22 and I'm like, bro, I need money for this. Like I'm paying for
hold
stamps.
on. This ain't no hobby here now. You feel me? Come on now.
Y'all gotta give me a break right now. Like I'm gonna need something. And I ended up helping out, a couple of my uncles, and it was one of the best feelings was really like, yo, unc, your credit good now. Like go on.
That's what's up.
I was able to help them, and that was through my own personal journey.
Your own experience, pretty much.
My own. And sometimes, you think of a negative experience as something bad. I never think of it as a bad thing. Like, it's a low moment, but I never try to let my low moments define me. I try to define the moment.
Right.
So
it's usually more as a guideline than a stop sign, pretty much, right?
Exactly. It might be you need to reevaluate what you're doing.
Makes sense.
Because even in that moment, when I went to go get the mortgage, right, I'm working 2-3 jobs. My spending habits were atrocious.
Oof.
You know why? I'm getting paid like every 5 days. You think I cared?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to prove for a $750,000 loan.
I was
so
making the money.
You was doing something.
I was making, and I had some savings while I was in the stocks. I had certain things in place. I'm like, all right, I can leverage that and pay for the down payment. But my habits were still horrible. So even in that moment, when I reflect, I'm like, that was what I needed because
to get you to the point where you're like, okay,
I'm more responsible now.
Okay. So let me ask you.
I was in the rap song. I was spending how you get it. I didn't care if I saw something and I wanted it.
But you know what? But you know different
care.
than how we is in our culture anyway.
Very true.
Right? So you just okay, living your best life.
I was living my whole best life. I'm telling you right now, whole best life, whole entire. I know, like I said, I did have certain hustles. Okay. So since college, I used to flip sneakers since college.
Oh, you was a sneakerhead?
Big time. But I never paid for my own shoes. Man. I never paid for my own shoes.
That's that Jamaican women stuff again.
Yeah,
but we ain't gonna go there
I'm gonna
again.
tell you.
I'm
gonna tell you. And I don't. You know what I mean. But I didn't pay for my own shoes because I realized if I sell 3, the 4th is for me.
Okay, so So let me ask you. So did you always have a hustler's blood inside of you?
And I couldn't really work until after college because when I played basketball, like you don't got no time for that.
That is true. Practice,
games, all that. It's
and
too
all that
much.
good stuff.
It's too much.
Right.
You really don't have time. So it wasn't until I really, towards the end, I was playing really good, and some of the sneaker owners started rocking with me, so they put my shoes to the side. Okay. But then when I graduated, it was like, all right, you're not playing no more. So
you're like, hold on, we see what you got going on here.
Yes, I turned the all right, it's for me to like, all right, I'm gonna just buy your whole inventory, and we had hella supply, but no demand.
This is when you graduated college.
This is 2013. This is before StockX, Go, all them sneaker sites was out. I was flipping on Instagram.
Whoa, okay, wait a minute. So hold on. So you graduate college, you playing ball, right?
Yep.
You flipping sneakers as your side hustle, right? So you finished college. Did you go straight into teaching, or you was just like, hold on, let me go ahead and find?
So I finished college in 2012. I want to get my master's right away. It was either I go try to work out and play overseas or I go to grad school. And I said to myself, am I going to really am I going to go back to get the master's? Because my dad always wanted me to get it. And I'm a daddy's girl. So, all right, I'm going to give my dad what he want, whatever. So I said, you know what? I'll just do the master's right now because I can get it paid for. And this is where we always got to think about OPM.
Other people.
All the time. I've been thinking about OPM since I was a kid because I didn't pay for college. Other people pay for college, and other people pay for grad school.
Oh, so it's not good to throw you in the same box as that old college is like a lost art right now because you actually went for it for free. You was able to use OPM.
Because you got it. Man, listen, college is what you make it. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you go in there for a good time, of course you're going to be lost. But if you figure out how to have other people pay for your experience, which there are experiences out there, my nephew went and got straight grants and got his associates separately and went and got his bachelor's, and he's done now. and he had to go the long route, but he didn't pay for any of it.
Not a dime of it.
Not a dime of it.
Right.
So
okay.
like, if you
so
could
you would encourage it in that route or in that sense.
I encourage it because it gives you more options too. Like not everybody is entrepreneurial, and not everybody got that business off the rip. Like sometimes it takes you something to get through something to figure out who you really are.
Or a life circumstance.
Exactly.
Right.
And sometimes you never know who you meet in college that's going to be that person to build that relationship, because it's just a big networking circle in my experience.
True. Look, Facebook was built in a college dorm.
Exactly. Like let's not, you know what I'm saying, like make it's a scam. Like it's a scam if you not figuring out how to get other people to pay for it, because there's money out there all day to help people pay for college.
True.
Whether it's through scholarships, like academic scholarship, athletic scholarships, or even just grants for where you went to school.
True.
So I've always looked at it. I told my mom when I was 12 years old, I said, Ma, my teammate Keisha Stokes, she went and played at James Madison. That was like, she was 4 years older than me, but I always looked up to her because I liked her game.
Okay.
So she was like my basketball mentor at the time.
Okay.
And she went to James Madison. She got a full ride at James Madison. When she signed her scholarship, I said, Ma, you're not going to pay for school. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, Ma, you're not going to pay. I was 12 years old. You call my mother right now and ask her. I said, Ma, you're not going to pay for school, but if you don't pay for school, I want a BMW, right?
What kind of compromise? Look at this. You was just gaming from the jump.
I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, okay.
You asked me if I was always had a hustler mentality.
I
Yes,
can see
did.
already. Yeah.
So she said, all right, because she ain't paying me no minds. You know, Jamaican production. All right, whatever you want, I'm like, all right, Ma, no, I'm serious. I went and got the booklet. I had it pasted up on my wall.
Ooh,
it was a
you was
BMW
determined, wasn't you?
325 CI series, midnight blue with the all black interior. I could tell you exactly what car I wanted. I remember.
Okay.
No, I did not get that car. However, I did not get that car.
Another conversation for another day, right?
Day.
Right.
However, I did get the scholarship, and she gave me a Tahoe. I'm not complaining.
So come on now.
I wasn't complaining. I said I didn't get the car. I'm not complaining. I got wheels.
Oh, okay. Nice wheels too.
Nice wheels.
All right.
Nice
all right.
wheels.
Okay.
So that was my experience, but that was the first time I had OPM. And then now grad school, guess what we got again? OPM. Trying to figure out where the money's at, because they have to spend it. Just make sure they spend it on you.
Right.
And that's just a little bit about, about
That's
me.
how obviously you tapped into your master's, right? So
I
this
tapped
is
into my
8
master's.
years of school you've done.
6. Don't add
Oh.
on. Like, that's a lot. 6.
6 years.
Yeah, but it gave me more options. I got my degree in teaching, and that's
Okay.
where it was. But all through grad school,
Uh-huh.
that's when I started flipping sneakers.
Okay. So wait a minute. So you going to school for free, playing ball, doing your passion, and you making money at flipping sneakers. So you
Towards
just like
the end, yeah.
just
Towards
caking your ice cream all over the place.
figuring it out. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice though. Okay. But all right, hold on. So you got your master's in teaching. So teaching has always been in your spirit.
I've always been a teacher. I didn't realize it. So I'm gonna keep it 100.
All right, break that down for me.
So my bachelor's is in speech therapy. I know we're going left, but we're gonna come back.
I
right,
like that.
promise.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to be a speech therapist when I was in high school. One of my favorite friends, like one of my good friends in high school, her mom was a speech therapist, and I used to love going to her sessions and watching.
Wait, what is a speech therapist?
So a speech therapist or a speech pathologist is a person who helps people if they have speech
Impediments or something?
Yeah, stuff like that. So if you have a stutter, severe stutter, that you can go to lessons for that. Or if you experience a traumatic brain injury, stroke, and you have to rebuild those muscles. And then sometimes you can have speech therapists who work in schools to help kids actually with sounds and little things where kids kind of like switch letters. So they might see a R sound by say L. Like
Okay,
I don't
I
remember
see
all
what
the
you're
actual
saying.
like names for it because I haven't been in school for that since like 2012.
All right,
But,
okay.
That's what a speech therapist does. So that's what I wanted to do. That was my whole thing. I'm gonna do speech therapy. I could work wherever I want, and this, that, and the third. They make good money too. Like make good
Six figures.
150 a year. Like
Okay,
that's
that
good.
ain't
That's
right.
a good job. And you could work your own schedule. You could be independent. You could work in the system.
Dope.
However you
Okay.
want it.
So
I
this
had-
was your career path.
That was my whole game plan.
Okay.
So I'm just understanding that teaching and teaching credit was not my game plan.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where'd the switch come? But,
Not
okay.
even a little bit.
All right.
And then when I graduated, so towards the end of my senior year, athletes are spoiled. I'm gonna just tell you this right now.
They're prima donnas.
Super. I'm one of them. Hello, prima donna. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I didn't really know when I was supposed to submit my documents. My fault. However, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
I gave my athletic advisor the paperwork and I gave it to her wrong. So she submitted my grad school paperwork late and to graduate, she submitted it on time and my grad school late, but it was 100% my fault. Because I gave her the envelopes closed, like send this in, send this in.
Send this in, right?
And I
Okay.
said I gave it to her wrong.
Uh-huh.
So my grad application was late and I didn't get accepted to the speech therapy grad school.
Oh,
But
everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason because we were actually on our way to the tournament. So this is like around like March Madness.
Okay.
I'm trying to do stuff before I gotta leave, so I was rushing.
Right. Okay.
Like I said, 100% my fault, but I'm not mad at it.
Right. In hindsight now.
In hindsight. So
Right.
I look back and I'm like, well, I can't get my master's right now in speech therapy, but I know if I stop school, I'm not gonna go back.
Right, because a lot of people, when they take that break, they just
I
like,
don't want to
whatever.
go back.
Right, I feel
so
you.
I said, okay, what could I get? And I was talking to one of the deans who I was real cool with. Like, that's why I said networking center. It's a networking center. Like, don't sit in college and just be quiet. It's a networking
Build those
center.
connections
Build
and
those
relationships.
connections. So
right.
I'm sitting down with Dean Angel. I'm like, Dean, I gotta figure this out because I can't get into the pathology program. He's like, why don't you just do adjacent? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, if you go for something next to it, you can still go back into that program or the doctorate program, and it's like a builder.
Oh, so like kind of piggyback off of it a little bit. I got you.
Because a lot of the courses on the adjacent program is kind of the same.
Makes sense.
So I'm like, all right. So he's like, you can just do the teaching. We'll get you in right now. A lot of people have process getting to grad school. My grad school process was very easy. I didn't even do the application. Like
okay. Oh, so you was that. Okay. Shots out to the teacher then. Appreciate
Yo,
that.
all love. As I said, networking. All love.
Shots out. Okay.
So that happened, and then I got into grad school. He made a call. One of the student affairs ladies, she was like, oh, you know who needs a new GA? Dr. Clark. Go see her. And the financial aid lady was like, yes, her GA is about to graduate, so she's going to need a new one. Go see her right now. I went in there. They scheduled my interview. I missed the first one because I was working overnight at the time and I didn't realize the time. So they called me and I was sleeping. They rescheduled me for the next day.
Called sleep.
I was knocked out. She said, you coming? I'm like, huh? She like, all right, we're going to see you tomorrow. So how you miss your interview, still get the job?
Dang. Oh, finesse game on 3.
Relationships, man. I'm telling you. And I got the job and I did my 2 years in grad school, 100% paid for. They paid me a stipend. Dope. And I worked about 4 or 5 hours a day in the office, handling all type of affairs that office dealt with, and it was a great experience. And
it was a side hustle, pretty much, just to get
that was my job. I had to show up every day.
Okay.
The side hustle was the sneakers at the time.
Okay, so you had that going.
I told you I'm Jamaican. I had 3 jobs in grad school. I'm full blown. Like they can say, "Oh, you was born here." I'm like, not really though, you know.
But the blood is flowing through me. Yes,
the
island blood is flowing. Okay, okay. So the speech therapy didn't work out. So he said, okay, they give you a fallback of teaching. So you go ahead and jump on that bandwagon. Mind you, all OPM.
All OPM.
Okay, so damn. So let me ask you a question. So you was able to, of course, build your whole platform as well as your career on OPM.
Pretty much.
Right?
Pretty much.
Do you teach?
For real.
You know, because
Pretty much.
That whole story you just laid out, like, damn, but it's dope, right?
Even my sneaker collection, that was OPM.
So let me ask you, how hard is it to have 7th and 8th graders tap into that, right? That same methodology.
So some of them are already there.
Word?
Yeah.
Is it easy for them to grasp it?
Some kids are already there. I have a couple that's like they hungry.
Okay.
All the time. So I'll just give you two case studies.
All right.
So one of them, she graduated. She's in high school now. She's considered my school kid. She's a whole pain in my butt, but she's considered my school. Anytime she having problems, go see Miss Henriquez. And she be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's where she goes, right?
Right.
But since I met her in 6th grade, she was a whole little Jamaican headache. 7th grade, she's always doodling. I'm like, why you drawing? Oh, I like to draw. I said, okay, well, figure out how to make money off of it. So whatever, she take that and go with. Next thing I know, she's doing nails. She's drawing her designs, nails, XYZ.
Whoa, dope.
And then next thing I know, she got clients.
Oh, look what you started. You don't start. They don't came here to learn A, B's, and C's. You don't teach them how to go ahead and count Benjamins.
Shorty got a whole business. She got
crazy.
Appointments booked on after school. I gotta go at 2:40. I got an appointment at 3:45.
Yo.
Yeah, she do nails. She charged like $55. She's good though.
She's
good.
Though.
Self-taught.
But you know what? You just brought up a spirit that was already in her anyway.
It was already there. She's got sometimes you gotta push that person.
True.
Because it's already there. Right. And she now, she's in high school now. She still calls me at least once every other week.
Yo.
Sometimes, could you send me some DoorDash? I'm like, yo, you're really acting like my child out here. And it's good to see because sometimes you don't see that in a kid, like that entrepreneurial. So she's like, she has her whole booking schedule out. She does sales.
Wow.
Like she posts online. And then over the summer, I had an event called Play for Play. I brought some of my students out. and they would work in the event. There.
Oh, that's what's up.
So getting kids active and meeting people like yourself, like other entrepreneurs, that can kind of start that spirit in them early. Because her mom also does hair, so it's not in it for her to be like, okay, I always want to work a $10 an hour job. Like she knows she can make her own money if she has a good skill set.
Which, by the way, I want to touch into that because this day and age, the kids nowadays is different than the kids how we was growing up. Yeah. When we was growing up, right?
It's two different breeds.
It's just two different eras, right?
Two different breeds.
So, and a matter of fact, I was watching your show on, I don't want to say the platform, but I was watching you on another podcast, right? And you was talking about how it's easy for you to teach the kids because you just tie in money to everything.
That's what I'm saying. They love
That's
it.
That's the easiest way for
they
them
love
to get it.
These
right?
kids coming to school every single day with a bag of Arizona, 3 Welch's, a Lay's, and a bacon, egg, and cheese.
And looking to barter something or sell something, right?
Yo, I'm telling you right now, one of my kids, this was the funniest thing that happened. So it was something going on in school, and we was locked in. And one kid say, well, he hungry, right?
Right.
So this one kid, I can't say the name. This one kid, he always takes extra snacks at lunch.
Right.
Always. But his class has an earlier lunch period. So they don't have lunch around 12. They have lunch about early, like around 11.
Right. Okay.
And so you still having to school for another 2-3 hours. Right?
Okay.
So around the 7th period, 7th, 8th, toward the end of the day, some kids be hungry. True. Now, I normally would have like snacks or something in the bag, but I was out. Mm-hmm. So he has 4 bags of apples in his pocket.
Oh, he know what time it is.
Oh,
yeah,
did he?
Know what time
Homie
it is.
made $7. He made $6 in class.
Yo,
talking about you hungry? Give me $2. I give you a apple bag.
Man.
So the kid said, all right, yo, here. And the other kid gonna call him stupid. I was like, no, this is supply and demand. He hungry now. I stopped class and I was a whole lesson on supply and demand, and then I made him tell the other 3. So he made $6 in class. I said, you need to sell us off.
So hold on. Now that I see you're the favorite middle school teacher because
I'm your favorite middle school math teacher for real.
You're the favorite middle school math teacher, right? So I want to go ahead and tie everything in kind of a little bit, right? So do you feel like you're sort of like almost the goddess of teaching generational wealth? And I say that because, right, in your position, you getting them young, 7th and 8th grade. They're like ripe. Mm-hmm. They're mangoes before they turn the color. They're still green a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. So, at this day and age, like I say, generational wealth is more important than when we was growing up.
It's more talked about.
Right. Although the term is thrown around loosely, but really think about it. Your average 20-year-old has a side hustle, right? And they're doing it for the sake of generational wealth. So, to tie it back in, do you feel like also your purpose is becoming where you are right now in society because of generational wealth and because you're teaching 7th and 8th graders, you're sort of like, this is your purpose. Like, okay, wow, I'm sort of could be the tip of the spear of teaching generational wealth for a whole new era of people.
Absolutely. I 1,000% believe that I'm operating in my gift and in my passion and then in my purpose because I'm operating in my gift. I didn't know coming up I was going to be a teacher. Like, that's not something I truly aspired to be, which is crazy because my dad found a notebook, like on an old dusty notebook that said I wanted to be a math teacher.
Okay.
And it was dated 2001.
Ooh. But he probably still remembered it. It's like, okay.
No, he showed it to me. He was like, you remember this book? And then we opened it, and I want to be a math teacher. But I don't remember writing that.
Right, but manifestation, obviously.
Obviously.
Right,
But I did say it a couple years after that, saying I want to not pay for school. That happened. And so when I say, like, I know I'm operating in my gift is because it's not work for me. Like, the admin stuff, the bureaucracy and all that kind of stuff, yeah, that's annoying.
It is what it is, right?
But like the actual dealing with the kids and teaching, if you came in my classroom, you'd be like, first of all, she's a nut job, and secondly, they're having so much fun in here that it's you can honestly see why I'm still there. So do I believe, yes, this is where I am? Yes, because even in my class, I do a lot of money relations. So one of my kids, he's Arabic, right? And in his first year that he was there, he scored horrible on his test scores. Like, he was horrible. And I don't like to say test, but I know, like, if I'm pushing you to be better, I can push you and I can use that as a measurement tool to see if you actually
Right.
push yourself.
Okay. It's a measuring stick.
I like to use it for a measurement stick. I don't really care about the test itself.
Okay.
I really could care less.
Understood.
But him, I'm like, bro, you're not a 1. Like, you're bugging. So we had a whole conversation about this. And the whole year, I taught it like bodega math. Why? His family owns 3 bodega shops.
That's how they get. Oh, I see. Oh, wow. So it's the relationship.
How you tie it back. That's where they go to. They're on there all the time. His family got shops and he works there. So everything that I did, I tied it back to that math. He went from a 1 to a 3. How? He almost had a 4.
So
and I saw him the year started, and I said it was always in you. Why you play yourself?
So money breaks down to really just relationships, if you really, because the 7th to 8th graders, okay, you teach them a way.
All
to
the
understand.
math you learn in middle school is the math you do now to break down real estate deals, to do your credit, to figure out how much you're gonna make when you sell a digital product or a physical product, or how much your rent is gonna be, or how you calculate square foot. All of that is the basics of it is taught in 7th and 8th grade math. If you want to calculate how much you pay for a house per square footage, right?
Right. Okay.
All you're gonna do, that's called a unit rate. Unit rate is the amount for 1. When I teach it in my class, the amount for 1 means you have to divide. If you want to find the amount for 1 or something, you have to divide. So that means if I know the price of the house, say it's $400,000, and the house is 400 square feet,
just divide.
You just divide, but you do that anyway. But guess where you actually learn that?
In 7th and 8th grade.
In 7th and 8th grade.
Math. Wow. I see.
It's the same math. Because you want to find out how much is 1 square foot.
Right.
So all of that starts there. It's just that it's never related to something that you would think about later in life.
Or you get diluted with all the unnecessary stuff potentially in like 9th, 10th grade. They teaching you trigonometry
and calculus and all that stuff.
Right.
And the real basics, like if they ever had like those credit civics classes where they teach people about finances, taxes, and all of that stuff, all of that math goes right back to 7th and 8th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school. You learn the basics.
Which I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I know in Florida, DeSantis, they passed a bill that's supposed to roll out next year where
like a literacy class.
The literacy, right? High school students must take at least half a credit before passing, right? What's your thoughts on all of this?
I hope that they do it correctly and don't just make it something that they say just for clickbait.
Right.
I hope it's properly implemented, because if it is, it can just put awareness in. Because the whole thing is that sometimes we're not aware. Like, you have no idea, you don't have a clue. I hope it's taught properly in a way that can benefit kids to where it's applicable.
Because our mistakes could be their wisdom. Because that's what's
happening now.
Right,
that's what's happening now. Like, your whole point is to learn from the generation before you.
True.
So for my nephews, like, I'm like, all right, when I started credit, I just knew I had to pay my bill off. But now my nephew, I'm like, don't just pay off your bill, but pay it off by this time. My nephew got a 760. And he's had a high credit score since he was 21. He's 23 now. 21. And I've been teaching him. We had whole sessions. He had to stay on the phone with me for an hour. We was on Zoom call. I'm looking at his bills. Just apply for this card. Do this.
Damn.
Now his limits is 18.5. Like, my nephew don't have baby limits. But I've started him out correctly because I'm like, if you could be better than me. He wants to buy his house in the next 12 months.
And he's, I'm assuming, in young 20s or something like that?
He's 23. He wants to buy a house in the next 12 months.
Imagine
if I knew, and I said to him, I'm like, yo, if I had a me when I was you, I wouldn't even be a me. I wouldn't be me now. But, you know, everything happens for a reason, so I'm not negating it. But I'm the person that I would have wanted at that age, I am to my younger family. And I am to my older family, because once you get the wisdom, it's your responsibility to get them the blueprint.
Damn.
You like that, right?
Yeah, I like that. You see that? I like that, y'all. You feel me? I like that. So hold on. So the money relationship, okay. Now, you just said something really profound I didn't even think about. So a lot of the things that us adults kind of execute in the day-to-day, financial-wise, you know, you teach in 7th and 8th grades.
You learn that.
Okay. So
negative and positive relationships, you learn that. Kids have a hard time understanding, and I know we won't get to the credit later, but kids have a hard time understanding negative relationships. So guess what?
Just in general?
Yeah, because it's different. So when you have positive, you just keep adding, but negative, it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. -1, -2.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't realize.
I still don't never understand
a negative
that,
85 is a small number compared to -1. That relationship throws them off. They're like, 85 a big number, but I'm like, yeah, but you super broke.
You like negative broke.
You super broke. You ain't got no money. You got nothing. And even if I gave you money, you still negative, because you got to get $85 to get even some type of money. You broke. And then when you get the $85, you still at zero, so you still broke. You ain't got nothing.
Bro. Okay, yeah.
So it's getting that through their head takes a while for them to understand the concept.
Okay.
Takes a while.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get off the credit a little bit here. All right. So I want to talk about adults. Oh damn! Did I? I must have cussed and said like, man.
Now let's go. Everybody was like, "What's the difference between the kids and adults?" Go ahead.
They just stuck in their ways. Huh?
It's not that they're stuck. I'm gonna tell you. It's not. That
I'm gonna
stuck.
say it because yes, I deal with nothing but adults, so they
I
just
wouldn't
like.
say they stuck in their ways. It's because fear has cemented in their heart.
Okay.
And I'm not
okay,
judging on it.
that.
I
could take
understand
that,
it.
yeah.
When you're a kid, you see no fear. Like the stuff my kids do on a regular basis. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? But I'm thinking it, and
Yeah,
I'm looking at them like, yo, they have no limit. They see no fear. Like they see nothing. You see a kid climb the fridge, and you scared for them, but they not scared of nothing. They just see the target and they climbing to get it.
They just see the cereal on top of
They
the fridge.
want the cookie.
That's it, yeah.
And
Good
they don't
point.
care how they get it. They don't feel the chair wobbling. They don't feel none of that. And when they get to the top, they looking at you to help them get down.
That's a good point. Very
Kids
good
don't see
point.
no fear. They so focused on what they wanted. They see nothing else. But as you get older, you lose that and you start getting sidetracked.
Wow.
So as an adult, you got all of these fears and no's and stops and limits in you. But when you was a kid, you was limitless. You didn't really care.
I think that's a lot. That holds obviously a lot of adults from entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, because
that
that fear sits in. Because you could have a kid, you could tell a kid like, and sometimes you take on the fears of your environment.
Right.
So if everybody around you, I'll tell a story to summarize that. So my mom, she the Verrazano Bridge is in Staten Island, right? It's a big bridge. It's very wide.
Okay.
And you can see on both sides. Now with my mom, when I was younger, she used to say, I don't like driving on the top of the bridge because she feel like when she driving in the Tahoe, she feel
It's like wobbling a little bit.
Yeah, and that bridge actually moves a little bit. It do move.
Okay.
It's a little bit.
So her
But
fears are valid a little bit.
A little valid, but
right.
she's like she feel like you could see the water because it's so high.
Okay, I can see why, but damn, man, I mean,
But
you're
that's how she felt.
I see what you're saying.
Years later, I never drove on the top of the bridge. So they had the upper bridge and the lower bridge. I never drove on the top because of her fear.
Wow, that fear just translates to you, right?
It imprinted on me.
Right.
And to the point where now I started going out to Staten Island and Jersey, I'm taking that away. I forced myself. Even though the fear came over me and I wasn't afraid. I'm not afraid of heights. My mom's also afraid of heights. That's also why.
Okay.
So I'm not afraid of heights though. Like I don't like them, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my God. Like I will climb it and be like, this is high. I'm gonna stay away from the edge.
Yeah.
So I don't fall. But that fear that she had imprinted on me, and I forced myself to drive
to overcome that.
So all the time I drive the upper bridge, no matter what, unless it's closed and it's raining and you can't see.
Right.
But I drive it all the time, and I had to share with her. I was like, you know what's crazy? I started driving the lower bridge because of your fear, and it had nothing to do with me. But that's how people are with their environment. So even if you have some type of boldness in you, if people around you are like, oh well, you can't do it, or well, I ain't do it, or well, or what, that imprints on you, and you don't realize that you're internalizing that. So that's what happens to a lot of adults because people around them also have limits and they imprint their limits on you. Like that's your limitation. That ain't your limitation.
That is true. But let me ask you a story. Do you feel like the system is also in a way kind of rigged against us? And when I mean us, because obviously when it comes to credit, we are the ones that's most impacted, right? Because we're the ones that have more subprime credit than any other race out there. So, but a lot of things that's caused us to where we are, where we're uneducated in credit and where we can just leverage it. Let's just say, forget the uneducation, because now there's the internet, there's information now. So let's take that out the way. But let's go to how you was able to level up OPM. When it comes to OPM, you still got to tap into the bigger set of money to be able to get. Do you feel that system is rigged against us, though? Because not all of us can tap into OPM, although you may have the information and have the know-how.
So, yes and no. But the reason why I always say no is because I don't want that to be an excuse or the reason why you don't try. So for me, I'd rather take my shot in the dark and miss than never shoot at all.
Dope.
Tell me no.
No, you're right. I can't even disagree with you.
Tell me
there.
no.
Right, you're right.
So is there certain things? Yes, absolutely. Right. But am I gonna make that a reason why I don't get it? No. Because as long as I understand the blueprint, I was able to get somebody who did not work a stable job in 6 years, but had good habits. I was able to train them on good habits. $125,000 in personal credit in 12 months. And
wow.
then 9 to 10 months later, $275 in business credit.
So within 2 years, he was able to get his personal
About
and leverage the
300
personal to get to the
about
business.
400,000. A woman, about
A woman.
400,000 in credit, with not a stable job at all, but good financial relationships and good habits. So that's why I said, like, it could be an excuse,
Right. Okay.
but I'm never gonna validate it
or use it. Right. Okay.
because once your habits are good, they can't stop it. They can't. And if they only give you 20, then take that 20 and turn that shit to 60.
There
If
you
they only
go.
give you 20, take that 20, turn it to 80. Then go to somebody else, because there's a lot of banks out here that have to give out money. They
It's
can't
required.
keep it.
They have
it's
to give it
required.
out.
And then there's
Yeah.
certain banks out here, like, they have certain status that they have to hit. Yo, did you hit your minority quota?
Oh, right. They have now. Right. Okay. You're right. You're
So
right.
we could sit here and make excuses, but we have to be presentable enough to receive the money. We can't sit here with bad credit and be like, oh, they didn't give me a loan. You have bad credit and no revenue. What did they give you money to do? Blow it? You ain't shown no financial responsibility.
You know, PPP taught that a lot for a
Listen,
lot of
I'm
people.
not
Yeah.
even, and a lot of people got away with it. A lot of
Right.
people got away with it. The IRS not even playing with them little $20,000 people no more. You're over. And to be honest, you probably blew that money anyway. No offense. PPP for me standing for putting people in prison.
Wow. Damn.
Look what it did. Look what it did.
No, good. And not over just the physical prison, still the mental prison, because a lot of people just got that.
They
bread
took
and
that
blew
money
it
and blew
not,
it. It's
no
like
OPM,
you
no
could have,
nothing.
if you took that money and you flipped it, they were just going. If you took that money and flipped it, and you got in trouble, and I ain't ever making a case for fraud, so don't sit here and be like, oh, she
Right.
did too much. If you had took that 20K or 30K, whatever you got, and you turned that into 60, they're not asking you for the
You
60.
would've had, right.
They're asking you for the 20K back. So you had used OPM to actually make money, and now you ain't a scammer because you paid them back. But a lot of people got that money, and then they start all the way out here in Louis, Gucci, Fucci, all of them. You know, they stock was booming during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, listen. I think there was a up in yacht charters
Bruh,
and rental cars.
He became the
and-
richest man ever
Overnight,
during the pandemic. Like his everything, because that's what we went and invested in. And I would understand if you bought it and you were renting it out, or you
Right.
bought it and you were flipping it, or you was getting it half off it. I understand that because at my core, I was always a flipper. Like I'm always, what's the profit margin? Is it good? At my
Right.
core, I was always that person.
Okay.
Like if I could find a good deal, all right, I got a buyer
Yeah,
already.
let's see here if we can make it
I
work.
was always a wholesaler with apparel. So I understand it. You get what I'm saying? But if
Okay.
that's not your, if you were always like, I buy something, I call it liability spending. If you always buying something and it devalues as soon as you're done with it, like, come on, that's the real issue.
Liability spending.
Liability spending, because you could
Damn,
buy.
I
You
like that. Yeah. As a way to kind of like hit you like, bro, you liability spending here. Like, come
we don't recommend that. I don't condone that.
on. You know, okay. So okay, hold on.
Like I told you, when I bought my sneakers, like I still have quite of a collection. It was bad. I was a plug on school. I just pretty much know.
Straight up.
I could call anybody in college, like, yo, the collection was crazy. I didn't pay for none of my shoes because, like I said, the first I bought 3, the last one's for me.
For you.
But that's all profit.
And you still had the money to buy
And
whatever you wanted to.
I still had profit after that. Cause I was charging you $150 to stand in line
Golly, boy, you just
per
don't
pair.
Man, Foot Locker, boy, they after you. You better watch out now. There's
Maybe
some Foot Locker stores that might be.
They be all right.
All right.
They got their money up
Yeah,
front. They
you
think get the back end money. Like, come on.
So let me talk to me about, because here in the Respect by Blueprint, we actually talk about the 3 R's:
Mm-hmm.
respect, revenue, and relationships. Right. So you talk about, no matter what age anybody is, the key thing or the blueprint for somebody to be able to level up and just understand money is just having good financial habits.
I'm gonna tie it to your R. Responsible. We not responsible.
So, because this is I want to make this a hot clip for the world out there. So, kind of unpack that a little bit. So, in you teaching that lady, that case study, the lady you just gave me, right? How important was it for her to learn those good financial habits for her to be able to get that almost $500,000 within 24 months, like you just said?
So with her, I just gave her deadlines because she was so fearful. Like all the fear around her about credit.
So the same thing, fear.
Yeah. Because you got to be real. Like, when it comes to credit, we just, credit is bad. And then when we say it, it becomes contagious. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Like, it's bad to everybody.
So that's the first thing you got to break.
That's the first thing I had to break. I'm like, nah, it's not bad. Look what just happened. We did this. I was able to do this, and my credit paid for that. But I just paid my card off. So I had to show her, like, it's not bad. It's just how you use it. A lot of times we'll use our credit for things that are liabilities.
Liability spending,
that
right.
don't pay us anything, and then we say it's bad. When it's like, nah, if I used it on something that's going to actually make me money, then yeah, it's good because I didn't have to start with my own cash. I'm making cash, and I can just pay them back with the money that I'm making. That's the whole point.
Right.
So with her, I just had to literally like say, this is what you do. I gave like a little checklist. Like I realized people need steps. Like even when I have my kids, when I teach them a new concept or how to solve a one-step equation or how to even solve unit rate,
right.
I have to give them a step chart.
So it's easy, a breakdown.
I give them a step chart. With adults, I give them checklists.
Okay.
Like, check this off. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? So with her, it was like, do you have your due dates written down? She had to have them written down. Do you have your statement dates written down? She had that written down. Did she have her budget filled out? She had and that was a checklist she had to fill out. And now it's habitual for her to do that without even the checklist because that's how we started.
Right. So those 21 days, because they say 21 days to build a habit.
To build a habit. So now I was on her for like 6 months because she was one of my case studies. So I was like, I'm building my joint up too. I'm doing yours. I was doing a friend of mine's. Right, so it was like anything I was trying, anything I say now, I got most of it from when I started. From
the experience that you went through with them, or the other students as well, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and I could see that, especially now, which I don't want to forget about. You could build travel points, and you're a travel connoisseur now.
That's my thing.
You feel me?
And that started back in college too. Like I said, every part of my life ties into what I do now. Every part of it.
Isn't that dope?
It is.
That's why you're making money off something you love, and come on now.
And I'm having fun while doing it.
You feel me? That's like...
When I was in college, I played at Marshall University. Go Herd. You know what I'm saying? We are, right?
Okay, all right.
So we used to play...
I still think Deion, even though it ain't basketball, I think Deion Sanders is like,
Yeah, he got that.
Yeah,
This is like 10 years ago.
Oh, damn. All right.
When I was playing ball, Colorado was like.
They was popping back then?
No, nobody knew them.
Oh,
we just knew them for the Coors Light.
You just deflated my balloon.
The Coors Light logo with the mouth. That was it.
Oh, right.
Maybe they got popular because of weed. But nobody. That's what. Shout out to Deion. Shout out to Deion.
That's
prime
what I'm saying, man. Prime time. Man. This is the year of prime time.
Colorado because of Deion.
I was trying to make a point here, but it is what it is. Come on. Right,
to be honest, Marshall technically a little bit more famous. Go Herd. Let's go again, right? All right, we got a movie, baby.
All right. I won't rain on your parade. All right. I get
so
you
either
that.
way, I'm in college. We played Conference USA, so we're traveling to Florida, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas.
This is a tournament?
This is our conference. So like how Colorado,
okay, you play within the conference.
Yeah, so Colorado's in Pac-12. We were in Conference USA.
Gotcha. Okay.
So these are the states we're going to travel to on a regular basis. But when we fly commercial because we're not 58, 72 players. We don't have our own jet. We fly in commercial because you can just throw us on a plane and we good to go.
Right.
But every time we fly,
plus y'all college kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So every time we fly, but some colleges they got the budget for private. We had the budget for private one year. So I got private.
Colleges fly private? I didn't even know that.
Big ones, yeah. Like SECs, yeah. Damn, they got money for the private joint. So we flew private 1 year. So I got that whole
experience.
It was nice. We had the same flight attendant all the time. She was nice, sweet.
All right. Okay.
I didn't like it though because that means that if we had a loss, we lost. We left right after the game, and it was not a good drive, a lot of good flight home. But either way,
all right.
So we flew commercial, and when somebody buys you a ticket, a commercial ticket, that ticket is in your name. It doesn't matter who pays for it.
Right, makes sense.
So my coach says to me, Coach White, shout out to her. She literally said, Rashida, I feel like you'd be the only person to keep up with this. And she said, every time we fly, connect your flight to your frequent flyer account. I didn't have one at the time. So I made one, and I said, okay, I did it. And she said, like, every time we fly, I just connect it. So the day she told me to do it, I set the account up. And then when we got to the hotel that night, we got our food or whatever. And they're like, all right, we'll see you guys in the morning, 7 a.m. shoot around. All right, fine, bet. Right. Get to the room. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and call them about this now because I don't know how to add the flight. So I have my ticket stub, and I call them, and I'm like, hey, I want to attach my flight to my
To your
freaking
account.
flyer. So I do that.
Right.
My teammate is with me, and this is I'm gonna say
Witnessing
this
all of this.
She's in the room. It's 2 people per room.
Okay.
So she's with me, and I'm like, "Oh, you want to do your stuff too?" She was like, "Nah, you got it. I don't feel like being on the phone." Okay, bet. I say that to make a point. I will come back to that point in a second.
Right. Okay.
So I do it. I go ahead and I call them. They end up back dating 6 months of my flights.
Oh, so your past 6 months worth of flights, they're giving it to you.
They're giving it to me.
Okay.
So they're adding it to my account.
Right.
I didn't know this until they told me. So I go ahead and do that, right? I didn't know what dates I flew, so I had to look at our away schedule and give them a time range of when I would have been on the flight.
Okay.
So I had to finesse it a little bit. So then she ends up getting all my flights. It was probably 13 flights she added back, plus when I went home and stuff like that. So she added all my stuff. We flew American a lot.
Okay.
I ended up graduating with like over 150,000 miles. Probably closer to 200. I had a whole status. I didn't know none of the stuff I know now. Whole thing. I didn't know why they kept upgrading me randomly when I go home. I just thought because I was nice. I was
all type of perks and benefits
I had
being sent to you
manners
now,
and stuff. You know? I'm like, I've been nice to the flight attendant. That's why she upgraded me. My parents don't know why. Like, how you got upgraded first class? I'm like, I don't know. You know, the flight attendant. She was like, yeah, Sheeta, let's go. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay. I like this.
Didn't know none of that.
Uh-huh.
That happened 2008.
Okay.
So my whole college career, 4 years of college, I'm getting free points and miles.
What the heck? So, and you wasn't really conscious of what you got,
I
pretty
didn't have
much.
a credit card till 2013, 12.
This is
13.
crazy.
I didn't
Okay.
know. I didn't know. However, I did know every time I flew, I needed to touch that stuff. I knew that. My teammate never did it.
Still on her
Sometimes-
lazy train.
Yo, and that's what I said that to say.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you will try to help somebody
And they'll
while
block
you're
their
doing something,
right.
and they block their own stuff.
Listen, yeah.
Because I told her, I'm like, yo, Coach White told me to do this. She told me on the phone, I don't feel like waiting. I'm like, all right. I could have been like, you know what, you're right. I'm going to just hang up.
Right.
But I was like, yeah, I'm going to figure this out. And sometimes you can't let somebody else's no impact your reason for yes.
I like that.
So that
is true.
happened years ago.
Okay.
And she said it to me years ago. I feel like you'd be the only person to follow up with this. And look what we talking about.
And boom.
Damn near 15 years later.
That's
Don't age me, but damn near 15 years later. Was that 15? Yeah.
Yo, so let me ask you, since then, have you ever had to come out of pocket for a flight?
Not really. Like, it's here and there if I don't want to use the
Right.
points.
But for the most part, you've been able to enjoy just
I've been able to enjoy
OPM
OPM.
again.
OPM. Technically, it's never out of my pocket. Like, if I have, like, a business or something and it's a good month.
Man, listen, if you don't get like OPM tattooed on you sometime within the next 4 or 5, I don't know what to say.
grill.
Like, I'm like straight up. I'm telling you.
I said sometimes you don't realize it's in there. Like, it's there. And for me, I know I'm operating in my gift because it started before I even understood what it meant.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it in the world right now. We're going to coin you. You the OPM queen.
Let's go.
Straight up.
3 initials.
You feel, little baby, that 4PF, all that other, so y'all fall back. We got the OPM queen here. You feel me? Straight up, man, because we having this conversation like, damn, boy, you are the dopest chick out there. You know, you save your bread and just go ahead and, okay, let me use some of you, use you to get you and get the bag together. Leverage, which, I'm being funny, guys, but that truly is the game, right?
It is.
That truly is the game. So, now let me ask you a question, all right? Which, how long we been, we got a new producer, guys, so y'all, they'll let me know the time. How long oh, okay. 8 minutes left. Okay, so, sorry, guys, we got.
We've been going.
Yeah, we've been eating chicken wings, pizza and whatnot, We just vibing out here, we do that in the Blueprint Studios, all right? But now I want to ask you, though, okay, if there's one thing you could share with everybody, especially, you deal with kids, so we're not going to talk about the kids. Most of our audience right now is about 40, 50 years old, and because of our conversation, we're going to have a lot of immigrants, a lot of Caribbean tap in, We got all flavors here. We got Haitian, we got Dominicans, we got the dreads. Okay, so the islands are flowing all through here. You feel me?
Cool it, man.
Right? So for the islanders that's watching the show right now, what's one bit of game you can go ahead and share with them to go ahead, especially again, they have parents that taught them wrong, but they want to know the way. what's one or two pieces of advice you could share with them to be able to level up credit-wise?
Got you. So what I would say, right, and I'm going to say it from the place of where I was I want to say misled, but
Right.
just underinformed.
Okay.
I know in these countries you don't have a credit system, but America you do. Right. So you have to take advantage of where you are with what they're providing you. So if you know, all right, I make $4,000 a month,
Okay.
$5,000 a month, and I'm gonna put a blessing on you. Say you make $10,000 a month, right?
Okay. No.
If you know that, do not go and blow $30,000 on something that's not going to generate you revenue.
Or have a lifestyle that exceeds that.
That exceeds
Right.
your cash flow.
I see what you're
Like
saying.
we cannot live beyond our means because it looks cool. Don't try to appease people. And I tell people, I say this all the time. I've been saying it a lot for the past 3 years because the word of the year in my class is always focus. For adults, it's the same thing. Stay focused on what your goal is. Don't look to the left or to the right. Stay focused on you because every time you look to the left or the right, it takes longer for you to get back to you because you comparing what other people are doing instead of focusing on what you got. It might take you 12 months to get there. It might have taken somebody 3. That's okay. They not you.
True.
They might have had a head start in something else and you had to figure it out along the way. Or you might not have had that behavior or skill yet. You had to build it.
You had to acquire it.
Exactly,
Right.
so you
I
can
see what you're
maintain it. So when it
saying.
comes to
Yeah.
credit, like the real issue is that we don't build it responsibly. We get a credit card, we go on vacation, we blow it. We go get a $4,000 vacation. It takes us 10 months to pay off a $4,000 vacation. So you went for 6 days and you paying this off for 10 months.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Right.
But if you actually learn how to use your credit properly, start your transaction the right way. Start your transaction with a card that gives you benefits and then pay the card off with the cash that you have.
Right.
You'll end up receiving benefits and rewards that will help you in the long run. Like there's a card, one of my favorite credit cards out here. I have a couple of my favorites, but one of my top favorites is the Built credit card, right?
That's from Wells Fargo.
Yes,
Right.
Built.
I like that card.
That's a card. It started with renters, right? So you're able to pay your rent with it and not pay transaction fees on the card.
Oh.
Now, typically, if you had to pay on a platform, you'd have to pay that
transaction fee.
2.9 because
Right.
somebody's gonna cover it. The landlord's not gonna eat that fee. They're gonna charge it to you.
True.
So now that credit card allows you to not have to pay that fee. What they do is they say, okay, instead of using the credit card number, we're going to attach a checking account number to your
that
credit card.
Right.
And instead of putting the credit card info in, put the checking account number in because there's no fee charge for that.
Right.
And we'll just charge your card the amount of the transaction.
And have that still report to your credit and so
Now
on
your
and so
credit
forth.
card is reporting your highest bill every single month. And I won't say reporting it, but you're getting that spend on that card every single month because that's the only way that you get credit line increases is by how you spend on the card. You can't spend $1 on this card every month and be like, oh, yeah, I need a $10,000 increase. They're looking at you like, for what?
Yeah, they're going to look at you crazy. Yeah,
Exactly.
I see
But
what you're
but
saying.
if your rent is $2,500 and you're putting your rent on that card every single month and say your card limit is $4,000, you can ask for a credit line increase now.
Right, because they're seeing the
Because they're seeing the
consistent-
consistency. And you
Right.
have the cash
Okay.
to pay your rent off because you was paying it off with cash before anyway. So now take that cash, pay off the credit card, get those points from that, and you can use those points for money that you was going to spend anyway. Like, notice I'm not telling you to change your behaviors.
Right,
I'm
you're
telling you
just
to
switching it up.
change where you start.
Change where you start. Okay. So instead of, because most people would use a debit card or go direct.
Don't do that.
Right. I
That
see
debit
what
card
you're
not doing nothing but
Oh, man. I struck a nerve when I said that.
debit card.
Y'all seen her, man?
Horrible, yo. They are delinquent, man. They are horrible.
They are the worst
They
things
do
out
nothing.
there.
They're leeches. They're parasites. They do nothing for you. I don't care nobody say. People in my DMs like, "Shit, what you talking about?" They do nothing for you. They
That
okay.
is true. They give nothing but liability, no benefits.
No benefits.
And God forbid if you lose it.
Yo, your money going. You know how
Yeah,
long it
straight
takes
up.
you to get your let me tell you. You know how long it takes you to get your bread back if you
Lost
a
it
debit
via-
card. But if I have my credit card, I call Amex. My money back in that account is before the phone call's over.
That is true.
They done credited it back.
They deal with it.
Because it's zero fraud.
Right.
You don't have those type of protections when it comes to debit cards.
Makes
It's
sense.
just nothing. The only thing a debit card is good for is getting cash out the ATM,
that's
and
it.
putting the cash in there. But to be honest, cash dirty. It got a bacterial infections is on them things.
Why is they even printing
Bro,
them,
they
man?
dirty.
All right.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. So it's how you start your transaction.
I
And
see
if you're
what
able
you're
to
saying.
do that, you can use these points, right? You're collecting
Right.
these points on these credit cards. These points, depending on which financial institution. So like the top 3 It's the top 4 or 5.
Okay.
But the best ones, American Express, Bilt, Chase, Capital One, Citi.
Right.
They have one of the top tier.
These are all the main nationwide banks, and
they have the best credit card point programs because of the relationships they have.
Especially Amex.
But to be honest, Bilt coming up.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on them.
Okay. All right. Well, they got like 3 or 4.4 times the rewards or something like that.
They have a couple multiplying categories. They do.
Okay.
They do.
All right.
But that rent category is heavy because you pay that's your biggest bill in a month.
That's your biggest bill, so
and
that's
you're not getting credit for it because they'll actually report your rent for you as like an account. You can do it if you're lacking a trade line and you need a primary account in your profile.
Oh, so this is a good, like you say, somebody to start. If you really like baby credit or invisible credit,
they'll report the rent for you. Like they'll report it to the credit reporting agency. So you'll have the Bilt credit card account and the rent.
And the rent. So 2 trade lines reporting on.
For one.
Pure game, y'all. Pure game. All right.
For
Damn.
One. So like that's why I said like that one's coming up. It's only 2 years old. So
so it's still a baby.
Super nascent.
Okay.
But I'm loving to see where they're gonna take it and how they're gonna evolve. Because they keep adding partners. So there's a lot of partners that American Express has and Chase has, and Capital One has, that Bilt also has. And you're accumulating the points a lot faster because you're putting your highest
expense on that card, right?
And then you can say, my landlord don't take credit card. Bilt would just send them a check.
So you can't get There's
no excuse.
There's no workaround.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
You got to use a card like 5 times outside of that a month. 5 transactions. And
that's it, just to qualify for whatever. Right.
And you're valid.
The only thing I don't like is backed by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo runs this program, right?
Yeah.
Wells Fargo, they stay in the news with the fuckery though.
I know. That's why I like them. Because then they can't say nothing to you.
That is true.
Because they do so much pure.
They just
between them, BOA, all of them. I think the one that doesn't get in as much trouble is Chase.
Chase, yeah.
But Chase, all of these banks is pure
backdoor
nonsense.
Dealing is pure
fugaziness they've been doing for years. So for me, it's like the crooked one I know, you know. Like,
deal with the devil that you know, right?
I feel you.
Wells
Fargo, I've been bank with them for a long time, and because like a lot of people have a lot of things to say. Oh, they were in slavery, they were in this or in that. I'm like, I'm gonna let you be honest. I'm gonna say this and just be as blunt as possible.
Go ahead.
All of these financial institutions and insurance companies started in slavery.
That is true.
Either we're going to use them to level up or we're going to have an excuse of why we don't use them and stay where we at. Like, I'm going to use you.
Wow.
I'm going to use you.
Big facts.
So if you was involved with my great uncle doing whatever, guess what? I'm about to take this money that you thought you was giving me for something else. I'm about to flip this, pay you back a little trash interest rate and grow my own wealth because I can't make that an excuse as to why I don't move forward.
Wow. Letting the fear,
like
you say,
like, I'm not letting you do that, man.
True. Yeah.
And like I said, I could there's all valid reasons for it. Like there's always gonna be like, they gonna try to hold us back, redlining, subprime, all of that stuff.
Right.
But we have to have a plan as to not making that be the reason why we stay stuck.
What's our reaction to it, pretty much? What are we doing? Yeah, what's the next step?
Exactly.
Dope. Okay. It's been a dope show. Real talk. I mean, we kind of like, jumped on the topics a little bit, but I ain't even go through no notes or nothing like that. Like, this been dope for real.
It's been free flowing.
Yeah, I like it though. But you know what? We dropped a lot of game. I really like the fact that, you dropped the whole Bilt aspect because, rental reporting, I know they're making it mandatory now. I know in the state of California and like in other states, they like making it mandatory now where the landlords have to report rent, right? Mm-hmm. But also, there's a lot of credit building platforms, Self, Kick, and
rent
reporters, and
that's
things
charging
like
you for that.
Right.
The card give it to you for free.
So, with this right here, guys, not only you have an avenue where you could build credit in the 2-for-1, but you could gain the points and could use the points to
travel.
How
I'm telling you right now, like we be scared of what we don't know, but when it comes to the traveling system, there are so many times I go somewhere. And I'm just like, all right, how can I spend less money the next time I go? And spend less money the next time I go.
It's funny because my girl mentioned it too because there's other benefits. There's traveler's insurance.
It's already in the card.
There's rental car insurance.
It's already on the card.
Upgrades
it's already on the card.
The Sky Lounge.
All of that stuff. Stuff that you would typically pay for. Like some people, and my dad, love you, Pops, but he can't stand me sometimes, right? Because he can't. I'm so extra at times when it comes to stuff, but it's only because I got used to operating a certain way. So when it don't go like the way how it normally go, I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on?
Right.
And so we're going to Jamaica Jamaica, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go to the gate. I'm like, oh, I don't hang out at the gate.
Yo, okay. Shit.
And he's like,
she's new now. She's like, I don't do that.
I don't hang out at the gate. And he was like, what you talking about? I said, I'll meet you there. So then my sister's like, where's she going? I said, I want to come. My dad is like, he's always gonna, if it's something he like, oh, Rashida being Rashida's, I'ma just leave her.
Right.
Leave her. So I'm like, y'all hungry? They're like, yeah, I'm about to go order. I said, I don't eat airplane food.
Oh
and
no.
they like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm gonna go to the lounge. So they like, I'm like, you wanna come? So I had some passes. So I'm like, all right, come. So I go there. Mind you, I travel a lot. So some of the gate agents,
They know you.
They know me. They're like, oh, Sheeta, you back? I'm like, yo, what's up, man? And I come through.
You just doing too much.
I
now.
don't
You
listen.
showing off.
Networking and relationships is
That
everything.
is true.
How you make people feel is important.
Not about what you say or what you do. Is how you make them feel.
So when I go through, I always say hi. Like I always come through. Yo, so and so here. They be like, I heard you looking for me. I'm like, yeah, I was coming to make sure you was at work. You can't be over here skipping. What you mean? And so I do that. And my sisters come through and they're like, yo, how you know them? I said, oh, I've been here like the past month like 5 times. They always work on Sundays.
Yo,
like this is like I know they schedule.
Right.
And she like, and so they go through. We get some food. We come back. I bring my dad a sandwich. He like, where you get this from? I said, bro, you hungry or not? Like, you want the sandwich or not?
You want airplane food or you want this?
You want
What's
this sandwich?
Come
and
on.
we go on the flight, and it's just like that. Those type of stuff.
Those
might
experiences.
think that would have cost $30, $40. I ain't pay that. And it's like sometimes you don't realize just little things that add up. Everything compounds over time. So if I already have good credit, let me leverage it in a way it's gonna benefit me. I know people for 1,000% fact. If they could travel for less, they would absolutely travel more.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, I mean because there's I mean that I think aside from eating, traveling and experiencing different cultures is part of what makes us as human beings,
exactly.
Right?
So you can't tell me like, oh shit, yeah, if I was to help you go to Hawaii for less than $50, less than $100, let's say less than $100, you gonna tell me no?
Absolutely not.
So then we got that out the way. So now listen how you're gonna do it. You're gonna actually build your credit out, right? All right, we're gonna get these 2 cards. The Built card, you're gonna have that one.
Right.
You're gonna have the Chase Sapphire preferred credit card. You got a reserve if you qualify for that.
Right, okay.
But then you're gonna go ahead and hit those sign up bonuses. When you do that, that's you spend like $3,000 or $4,000 in the first 3 months.
3 months, right?
Right? You hit your sign up bonus. Now when I got the card, it was 100,000. I think right now it's between 80 or 90,000 points.
Right. Okay.
Now you can use those points and the Built points that you're gonna get. The Built don't have from the rent. You don't have a sign up bonus, but you have your everyday spend.
Right.
Right. You're gonna use those points. You're gonna transfer them to the right airline. So typically, depending on where you are, right? If you're on the West Coast and you want to go to Hawaii, you want to transfer them to Southwest.
Makes sense.
If you're on our side, you want to see what's flying. If it's not Turkish, if it's Air Singapore Airlines, or if it's depending on what airline is flying that way. And it's the cheapest route. So Singapore Airlines, sometimes they'll have a flight to Hawaii one way for 12,500 miles. 12,500. I told you the sign-up bonus was 80 or 90,000. So round trip, that's 25,000 points.
Exactly.
Plus $11.20 for the taxes. So you're paying $11.20 out of pocket. But you use the credit card, so you got your sign-up bonus. So now you're $25,000 in. 25,000 points, sorry. Now you got points left over for a hotel. Guess what? Chase and Built have relationships with Hyatt hotels. So now you can transfer your points there.
And get your accommodations.
Your accommodations for free. Because when you pay with points, when it comes to hotels, all them pesky resort fees and all them extra fees that you would typically pay when you pay with cash,
boom.
They're gone.
Look at that.
That hotel might be 12,000 points per night. Remember, you only spent 25 on a flight.
On the flight, there and back, right?
Let's just say you had you and your spouse or you and a child. So 50,000 for the flight.
Right.
$22.40 cash out of pocket.
Right.
I'll go for the hotel. You got a couple left, and you still got your Built points.
Right.
You say your hotel is between 12,000 or 18,000 per night. I'm just gonna do 12,000 for easy math.
Okay.
Say you go for 4 nights. That's 48,000 points.
48,000 points.
So now your whole trip is 50,000 miles, 48,000 points.
98,000
miles. 98,000 miles.
Right.
That's your whole sign-up bonus. That trip technically would have cost you probably $2,500. It'll cost you $23.
So first of all, you said less than 100. This is less than 50.
I lied.
I
gave myself some space.
A lot of space. Damn.
Guess what you could pay for? That's what you pay for now. You don't have no problem paying for dinner, lunch. And depending on
you going to the top-notch restaurants at this point.
Depending on what status you got with those hotels, your breakfast probably free. They probably give you a credit for breakfast.
You know, you just I hope y'all wrote that down, man.
That's going to Hawaii.
Because
You could do that with any.
that is crazy. And you're talking 2 credit cards. Anybody that's just, whether you just now getting in the credit game or you're rebuilding your credit, this is practical the way you just laced it out right
Very
here.
easy. Because if you can't get into Chase if you're still not Chase. You can't get into that Sapphire card if you're super rebuilding. But you can get the lower tier cards. You can get like the Freedom
Okay.
Unlimited.
Okay, and then graduate as you're making.
And then you can add it on because the points you get with that card, you can still use them in the travel section. So it's like you're just always going to be tied in.
Right.
You're always going to be tied in.
Because you're in the family.
Because you're in the family. And if
see
you
what you're
can't start there, you can start with a low tier American Express credit card, do the same thing.
Which they have pretty great sign-up bonuses.
They
at
have
50,
great sign-up. They
75,000,
have great
and all
sign-up
that good stuff,
bonuses,
yeah.
and they have similar relationships because we're not looking for the bank. We're looking for their friends.
Oh, so when you're educating and you're teaching, your main concept you teach is not the accounts, is the relationship.
The relationships,
right?
Because like if you're building with no credit, there's certain banks I tell you to go to because you'll get the accounts you need. I don't want you starting off if you building credit with a $200 credit card and you stuck with that for 10 years. Because you're an adult with a $200 credit card.
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I love you though.
Like, come on,
That's
yeah.
embarrassing.
Straight up.
Come
yeah.
on, you can't pay for.
Yeah, you can't take nobody. You can't take yourself out.
You gotta check your account every second.
Oof.
Every second you gotta check your account.
That is.
That's not it. So I would start off with cards to give me higher limits, where
Right.
either I could pay for my limit or I know I can grow this limit faster with good behavior.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I start you off there. But once you get those limits and you at 2,000, 5,000, now we can segue to accounts that actually will benefit us when we spend. But if you're building, you got no credit or you're building credit, you got to start in the builder section. But when you're cruising, now we in the cruise section, we can have fun with it and we can actually prioritize our budgets and spend on the cards how we should be so we can get these 3X, 4X, 5X.
Your options open up a little bit.
Your options
Straight up.
blow wide
Straight
open.
up. Okay.
Once you understand, like, all right, I was in a building stage, so that's why I needed that secure credit card. Or I needed that credit card that, like, it didn't have no benefits. That's for building.
Right.
After we built, let's have some fun.
Okay. And technically, how long do you, in your experience, the rebuilding stage is?
Fully,
Yeah.
like to maximize 6 to 12 months.
6 to 12 months.
To 18, it depends.
I'm glad, and I just said that was a trick question. That goes for all of those that want those overnight credit repair.
Oh, nah.
You know, you didn't get
nah.
bad credit overnight, so you're not going to get good
It's
credit.
not going to be fixed
It's not going
overnight.
to happen.
It's
right?
not. Like, if
So-
you had to build it back, now you got to build back the time you ruined.
Build back the time you ruined.
Yeah, you at least got to get halfway there. Because
Straight
honestly,
up.
like, think about this. If you want to get a mortgage, you can't have a late payment within 12 months
That is true.
of that mortgage. Once you got a late payment on that mortgage, say you want to get a mortgage tomorrow or December.
Right.
Hypothetically, let's just say Ronald wanted to get a mortgage in December. If he had a late payment in September, he has to wait till next December. So you just lost a whole bunch of time because of that bad habit.
Or go to another lender that's going to charge you higher fees or whatever the case may be. Right.
Most of them is going to say, yo, we need
No.
12 months clean.
Straight up.
I spoke to a lot of lenders to make sure of this. They want 12 months clean. So unless you about to be in some unfavorable terms, you might have to do seller financing or something. You got to do a whole bunch of flanering for like all type of flugaziness to get it. So it's like
Over one freaking
over
late
one
payment.
late payment.
Yeah, I see.
So
what you're
like
saying.
that's why I said you want to get that time back as quickly as possible. So it's gonna take 6. I honestly, like, fully blown out. 18. Shorty was straight. She has
18 months.
She had 805 credit score, and I'm going from my case study. 805 credit score. Now she get cars because she like how it look. If the sign up bonus is hitting what she want, she get the sign up. She'll get the car off the sign up bonus alone. That's how she gets cars.
That's how
now.
she rocking now.
That's how she rocks now. And I'm not even mad at her
You
because
can't be. Yeah, you've worked to get to that point.
she's worked to get to that point. She knows how to hit up her sign up bonuses through her everyday spend. So when she hits her sign up bonuses, she plans her vacations every 3 to 4 months.
So let me ask. So you highly encourage people to be strategic in their spending. Hey,
Absolutely.
spend this because you'll be able to put in this category, get these type of points, and everything like that. Right?
It's all about strategy. That's why I don't care about what they got going on. Because when it comes to that part, you can't discriminate.
Oh, so you don't. That's what I'm saying. So you don't care what the institutions, all that other. I see what you're saying.
I don't
now.
care.
Yeah.
Because you can't discriminate.
Makes
So if I
sense.
come through and I'm dropping, like I had a client, so I help people with their credit, we do fun and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
like I had a client, his business do $5 million a year. You can't discriminate on this man when it comes to funding.
Oh yeah, off rip. Yeah, come on. The numbers speak.
The numbers don't lie.
Right, the
So
numbers
I'm not
speak.
gonna sit here and play these games. If I come to you with a 620, yeah, you could discriminate against me. You could discriminate all day.
Right.
If I come through with this 790, you gonna give me this damn bread. you gonna run this
do it
check
with a
up.
smile on your face.
And you gonna do it with a
Right.
smile. And if I know I set these accounts up right, I got my installment loan, my revolving account, I got some good limits. You gonna run me this check.
Straight up. Okay.
You can't discriminate on that. And if you do, that's a whole case. Because then now
credit is so
important.
powerful.
It is. You can't play these games. I'm telling you. That's why I don't like. I know there's situations, but you're not gonna play when it comes to the numbers. That's why I love math. When it comes to the numbers,
I can see.
I love it. You saw how geeked that guy,
Yeah,
right?
like straight up. What? Like, whew. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I seen her twice, like when she came with the chicken wings and nah. So
Yo, I'm telling you, when it comes to the numbers, if the numbers look good, if the numbers are exactly what it's supposed to be,
straight up though.
It's you gotta run it. You gotta provide it. Cause I gave you what you wanted. And I don't believe in fraud. So you're not gonna say, oh shit, he got fake pays up. No, my checks is real. Stop playing with me. Don't play them games, okay? I'm not built for it. So don't play that. Don't play that.
Now I wanna end the show with one last question. What do you think for all the dudes out there with bad credit? What's your advice for the dudes with bad credit out there? Do you even give them any plays? There's any shot for the dudes out there with bad credit?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
A lot of shots. Shots fired.
So
No, I'm playing. I love y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. So I had a joke a while ago, and it was like, right? Don't let Mr. Bomb Boy come take your girl out.
Yo,
And then lose your girl.
that is true.
Because you got bad credit, you gonna lose your girl to
Also, the dude with the black card and the dude with the gold card. Yeah.
He take on vacation on all points, and you think you gotta get $5K to take on this vacation, and he doing it off sign up bonuses. Like, let's be real.
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to like good credit, like for everybody who got bad credit, or for the guys out here, right? I'm gonna just tell y'all, yo, stay down until you come up.
I mean, listen, I was trying to help y'all out, y'all. You feel me? I'm just trying to, I was trying to bring a little entertainment towards the last segment of the show. But she told y'all got no shot, man. Y'all stay in the house, man. I'm sorry.
I'm being serious though, because like I know with guys, all right, with females, we have more expenses than men on a regular basis.
But I think females are more responsible than credit.
We are.
Females are just, like you say, they're more focused. Guys, it's just kind of like.
But y'all have less expenses on a regular basis. Y'all have less maintenance. Period.
Okay. True.
Period.
True. Yeah, it just took me nothing but $2
that was
to do this.
that was a buff and wax. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. So
you could have went down to the car wash and put your joint on the side. Came out nice and shot with the armor. So it's less maintenance. So when it comes to guys, I'm like, yo, you don't have to. Like, you could literally stay down till you come up. Like, especially when it comes to your credit, you could stack, go get your job, work your 2 jobs. You could be, all right, stack central. I'm gonna build my profile out, and then guess what? Now I went from a 300. That's disrespectful. Yeah. I went from a 500.
All the way to like a
760. All right, now I got an idea, right? Because one of people in my community, super dope cat. He's in college. His business in his first 18 months, his Shopify store did $350.
Wow. First year.
First 18 months.
Dope. Right? Okay.
He wasn't even on credit like that yet. He was still learning credit while he's doing it. Now he had an 850, super excited.
And now he got cash flow coming in from the business. He got credit.
Cash flow, went and got his Corvette, got this, got that. And he's a financial prince in his family. King. Like, hey, come and ask him money. Mom, aunts, uncles, brothers, like all of that. But he had to learn it. And then while he was doing it, he figured out a skill that he could use to pay his bills. So even when I'm teaching my kids, I tell them, your skills pay the bills. That's why with my 9th grader, she got a skill. She's really good at drawing. She just turned that into something.
The one with the nails, right?
Yeah, she's really good at drawing. So most of her stuff, she hand draws them. And then she has like her little prints and Hello Kitties and all that kind of stuff. That cute. Right. All them acrylic long nails that girls be having, the arrow,
that's her thing right there.
She kills it. But skills pay the bills. So let's be real. That's why, like, when I'm talking about kids and adults, we sometimes don't realize that you got to start being great at something. And then that thing that you're great at will cover what you do. So if you're a dude, figure out what you're good at. Dive into that wholeheartedly.
Focus, like you said.
Like I said, focus on it.
Yeah.
Because like that kid, when I met him, he was like, I've known him for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
He was still learning credit, figuring it out. Learned something from me when I got the mentors, got his thing up. And now like he's in this 850 realm chilling. But I remember those conversations when he was a 690, like, shit, I gotta figure this out. Utilization was crazy, had a collection on his report, like figuring stuff out. But he was still running his business. He didn't let that stop him. He was multitasking. Like, I gotta be in school, I need a Shopify store to work, and I need to fix my credit 'cause I need to grow. But sometimes we be unfocused. So dudes out here, if you got no credit, don't be out here chasing these women.
And that's
gonna make you broker.
That's the main point I wanted to share. That's the main point because I like the case study because you just shared there because most people don't realize, especially young men nowadays, Islanders, black men, you can be the person to break the generational curse.
You have to be.
Because our moms, our dads, they don't know. They have fear attached to them, right?
And we love receipts.
Good point. I like that.
Your family don't listen to you till somebody else validates
Until somebody
you.
validates it, right.
They have to validate you.
So you got to be that person to be able to.
You have to stay focused and stay true. My parents and my family didn't start listening to me to credit until we were at a family baby shower. And it was like, your sister be online doing credit, right? And they was like, yeah. And it's like, yo, I follow her all the time. I did what she said and that joint worked. And my brother's mom was like, how come you ain't tell your brother about that? I said, I had a whole hour conversation with him about it. She said, what you mean? Shamar, why you not listening to da-da-da-da? And I'm looking like, not to put you on blast,
no, that's
but
how
that's
it goes,
how
though.
it be.
That's how it goes.
They don't
listen
to you. And I be wanting to have time for everything. Now my schedule is super crazy. But there was times where I was home learning all of this from scratch. And
you could have got it. I tell you, you could have got it for free. You could have got it for free back then. Now you got to pay.
Now you got to pay or wait.
One of the two
gonna happen. So now every family function, somebody goes, "Oh, your sister be online talking about credit." It's been 8 family functions. Can you
help me out with this? Something reported last week.
Something. It'd be something. It'd be something. Or I'll be setting the group chat.
Yo,
I got one in the screenshot. They're like, "Yo, this your sister?" Because I know she was on the thing. And they like, "Yeah, that's her." And they like, "Yo, they see you online." I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, Sheeta, listen, girl, keep it up. Real talk. No, this is one of the dopest show value-wise. Real talk, because, I had a whole nother realm I was going to go about this, talking about kids and how to build generational wealth. But what we shared upon and everything like that was really dope because I felt like the people who won at the end of this was the audience, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of free game. You feel me? Was able to tap into your personality and everything like that. Listen, by the way, let the people know where they can follow you. You is not pulling off where you let them know, because, she ain't drop all this game without y'all showing some support now. So go ahead and let the people know where they can pull up on y'all.
All right, listen, y'all. I'm your favorite middle school math teacher, Sheeta3. And you can find me mainly on IG at SHEDAH, D as in Delta, AH3. All right. I'm mostly on IG. I go live every Monday through Friday when I'm on my way to school.
Okay. Y'all heard? Okay. So definitely So before we also wrap up, what you got coming up? You have any other special events, any webinars, anything you got rolling out, or you just living your best life right now doing what you do?
So my whole thing is impact. So my initial prayer to God the beginning of the year was I want to be on the stage every single month. So yes, I have events. Okay. That was my first thing. I was like, oh yeah, be ready.
Okay.
And I made sure that I was in places where I could be presented with the opportunity, and I took advantage of it. Every time I did it, absolutely. I always make sure I go 150%. Never, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I'm always gonna go hard on how I present. So that every Thursday right now at 8 p.m. besides like Thanksgiving or like a major holiday, right. I have a class 8 p.m. You could DM me the number 750, and you'll get access to that class. And I'm just going over how to build credit, like how to build out a 750 blueprint. Because once you get that 750, I'm about to tell you those numbers. Once you get that 750, they can't tell you no.
There's no discrimination. There's
they
nothing.
can't tell you numbers. It's the numbers. Your name could be Bone Kui. I don't care.
That's 750.
You got that 750 plus, they cannot discriminate against you, especially when it's built out the right way.
Big facts.
So I have that class Thursdays at 8 o'clock. You can DM me 750. You get access to that. I'll give you the link for it too. So
absolutely, so we can drop it into the show.
Yeah, and that's what I do regularly. I have another event coming up, Twin City tour, but I don't have the date yet.
Okay.
Trying to get the venue spot, but I'll send you that too.
That's what's up,
in
man.
New York and Jersey. So just trying to get people outside so they can be
active.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I say your next business partner is in a room, or your next motivational partner, or your next inspiration partner or accountability partner is in a room that you ain't in there yet. But you have to find the room. So you gotta keep searching for them, because if the business partners you had on the block, if those people that you're dealing with, if you ain't dealing with them yet, you got to go find the people who gonna turn you up.
Oh no, let's
and they
kind of
somewhere
amend
you
that.
not in.
Even if you trying to deal with the people on the block, you may have to go.
It's a lot.
You may have to go somewhere.
You might have to go and then come back.
There you
because
go.
Sometimes you got to realize you be battling your own demons, and you can't battle your demons and somebody else's demons, why you still trying to battle your demons
At the same time.
At the same time, because when you say something like, "Yo, I could start this podcast. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna make bread. I'm gonna be able to share. I'm gonna be able to impact people. This podcast is gonna be the dopest. It's gonna be the biggest blueprint podcast. Period."
Right.
The moment you say that, there's a little voice in your head that tells you that you can't do it.
Talk right.
So you can't, and I tell that voice, I'm like, "Yo, shut up," right? I'll be sitting there talking about like, "Yo, who, like, shut up."
Straight up, where'd you come
Well,
from?
I don't get out of here, right? That little voice, but that little voice, if you're battling that voice, that means your own insecurity and limits.
Right.
I can't sit here battle that and then battle you.
Yeah. Because then yours start growing louder.
It start growing louder, and the next thing you know, guess what? It's 3 years from now, you're in the same place. To having that same conversation with that same person.
And that voice is like,
Told you it wasn't gonna work.
Exactly.
Told you it wasn't gonna work. And you
damn
can't.
right.
And so that's why I say, like, you gotta go find that business partner
The whole.
outside, that next person.
Well, I hope you listen. I hope you guys tap in with Sheeta 3. You feel me? Because listen, you can catch her in one of these rooms and listen. Gentlemen, I don't know how you feel about tapping in with the female mentor, but listen, I could definitely let y'all know if y'all want to get y'all credit right, because we not calling her Sheeta 3 no more. OPM Queen. You want to learn, because if you've watched to the end of this show right now, you guys have realized, yeah, she is the one that's going to get you there when it comes to the OPM, straight up, you feel me? And, can I have you back on the show again?
Absolutely.
We got to do a part 2.
We didn't get to cover. We got so much more to talk about.
There's a lot more we got to tap into, you know what I'm saying? But listen, y'all, we're definitely going to do a part 2, and, maybe some other things in the work. We got to do an event or something like that, man.
Something.
All right, man. Well, listen, man.
We got to make rooms for other people to build these type of relationships.
Absolutely. You know what? And you guys know kind of my story, which I want to share with you a little bit. I did 10 years, got out in 2019 and walked into the pandemic in March 2020, and then started my own credit journey, right? Started a credit repair company.
And I commend you for that, because some people come out and be having excuses. You came out and got straight to it.
I wasn't, trust
got
me.
straight to it.
And there was a lot of things that happened in between that, again, another discussion another day, but one thing I would like to say that I commend you on is because I shared that is for that very reason, is I didn't have any excuse, because walking out of being locked down to walking into the pandemic, another lockdown, and then damn, having to figure it out at that point, it's like, okay. But one thing that was my saving grace, and everybody know this, was credit. Fixing my credit, fixing my friends and family members' credit, and then taking that skill set to be able to say, okay, let me go ahead and prepare myself to the next level. So, conversations like this, man, this is what I live for, and meeting you and hearing that you are the queen and doing the same thing, leading the same charge, man, let's keep it rocking for real,
We changing everything.
You already know, man. Listen, guys. Tap. Built, B-I-L-T, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Just tap in with him, man. Tap in with him, man. But listen, I'm glad you guys was able to tap in today's show. You guys already know every Thursday at 6 p.m. you can catch all dope episodes where we have entrepreneurs come in and share their blueprint on how to do shit. And you can always catch us on Spotify, Apple iTunes, as well as Google Podcasts. And as always, like I tell everybody, we're going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.